Hello, this is Sarah Brash. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to do a quick video, and I'm probably going to wrap it up after this one and call it a night. But I want to do a quick video about how I 100% support Amy Cooper. And Amy Cooper is the victim of the now infamous Central Park Living While Black race hoax involving Christian Cooper, the bird watcher, and Amy Cooper was the dog walker, and they got into a confrontation, and Christian Cooper did threaten her, and she did finally get to a point where she called the police. Of course, people around the world have seen the video, and it's, recently, because it was the 2-year anniversary of May 25th, 2020, which part of the reason why the incident between Amy Cooper and Christian Cooper blew up the way it did, besides the fact that Christian Cooper and Melody Cooper turned it into a Living While Black race hoax to try to make Black trauma moral outrage industry money from this. And Christian Cooper has done very well for himself, and now he gets his own TV show on National Geographic for perpetrating a Living While Black race hoax. There's good money to be made in perpetrating these Living While Black race hoaxes, which is why they're not going away anytime soon. As long as people get, ridiculously rewarded for perpetrating these Living While Black race hoaxes, and as long as there are no consequences, there's no downside to destroying an innocent person's life. If you perpetrate one of these Living While Black race hoaxes, no one is going to hold you accountable. You are not going to face any consequences, no sanctions, no punishment, and in fact, the opposite. You will be fabulously and handsomely rewarded if you perpetrate a Living While Black race hoax, especially on a college campus. So these are not going away. As long as this continues happening, and the Christian Coopers who perpetrate Living While Black race hoaxes to destroy the lives of innocent private citizen nobodies, as long as the Christian Coopers of the world keep getting handsomely rewarded with National Geographic shows, the Living While Black race hoaxes aren't going anywhere. They're going to continue because it's a very lucrative business proposition for a lot of people. A lot of people have done very, very well. The Get Sarah Brash killed moral outrage industry, especially in academia, in law schools, in humanities, in philosophy, even in science academia, shockingly. Like, if you want to get ahead in academia right now, all you need to do is write a race-baiting dystopian fantasy / death threat / Living While Black race hoax book or article about me. That's all you need to do to get ahead in academia right now. That's all you need to do. Okay, so as long as that's the case, these Living While Black race hoaxes are going nowhere. They're going nowhere. But what I wanted to talk about in this video, and I don't want this video to get too long, is that Amy Cooper is, just like myself, an innocent victim of a Living While Black race hoax. Now, I know that it might seem to a lot of people that she did behave badly. I think some people could make that argument, but having really now, seen so many of the, details come out, and looking at all of the pieces of the puzzle, including what, the reporting of Camille Foster, and then Amy did do the interview with him, and that was on Barry Weiss's podcast, and so it's clear that she really did have reason to call the police, and that Christian Cooper had a long history of being incredibly confrontational, antagonistic with dog owners, including getting into altercations, including allegedly getting into a physical altercation with a Black man who was a dog owner, with whom Christian Cooper got confrontational. So he had a long history of doing this in Central Park, and so then when he did this, when he saw Amy, he thought that she would be a good victim and that he could do this to her. And then I think what happened is that because he did put it on video, and then after the fact, I think maybe it was more so his sister Melody Cooper, maybe it was both of them. But I think they realized that they could really profit off of this video, and that's why they propagated it around the world on social media. So this is why I really do consider it to be a Living While Black race hoax at this point. I think it was turned into a full-fledged Living While Black race hoax by Melody Cooper and Christian Cooper to profit from this experience, to make Black trauma, moral outrage industry money from this experience. And obviously they have profited handsomely. They've been handsomely rewarded for perpetrating this hoax. So the thing that I always tell people is that, because people will try to tell me this too, they'll be like, well, we didn't know you were innocent, Sarah. We didn't know you were innocent. And I'm like, well, yeah, you probably could have pretty well guessed, unless you're just like incredibly stupid. But also, like, you didn't know that I wasn't innocent. You didn't know that I wasn't innocent. And you knew I was a private citizen nobody. So I don't know what kind of monster, woke KKK monster, thinks that it's a good idea to impose a sentence, an immediate, grossly disproportionate sentence of social death or suicide on a private citizen nobody without due process via trial by Twitter and woke KKK cancel culture by Twitter, and destroy them, destroy their life, destroy their career, destroy their reputation, destroy their livelihood, drive them to suicide, impoverish them, render them unemployable. You think that that's a legitimate thing for you to do to a private citizen nobody for an utter non-crime and non-event? And this is also what happened to Amy Cooper. And this is the real point I want to get across to people. It doesn't matter, even if you think I did something racist at Yale, even if you think Amy Cooper did something, like you really think that. It's not true, but that's fine. Even if you really think that, even if you really think Amy Cooper did something racist in Central Park, you really believe that, that's fine. In my case, I 100% know it's not true. And I believe that Amy Cooper also says it's not true. 100% not true. That even if you believe that, that's fine. It is insane and evil and racist and inhumane and cruel, and it's just vile and demonic to try to drive a private citizen nobody to suicide, to impose. This is why I call them the woke KKK, because it's the imposition of the immediate and grossly disproportionate sentence of social death or suicide upon a private citizen nobody. They target the vulnerable. They target white women with seeming or obvious mental health disabilities without the resources to fight back and defend themselves. This is why I call them the woke KKK. And this, you know, I was vilified on a global scale as some kind of genocidal villain, as a Pol Pot figure. I was accused of trying to lynch Black students at Yale for an utter non-event and non-crime. Even if you think I did something racist, even if you think Amy Cooper did something racist, to think that it was okay to treat a human being like this, a human being. I'm a human being. I am a human being. Amy Cooper is a human being. We are human beings. And I think that the charge against Amy Cooper was ridiculous, I absolutely committed no crime. And I don't think Amy Cooper committed any crime either. And of course the charge was dropped after she did whatever sort of therapy that she did. And so I want people to understand this. Like, there is no justification for what was done to us. There's no justification. Like, it's just like monsters do to another human being what was done to me and to Amy Cooper. And this is why I 100% support her. I 100% support her. And I am going to now be keeping tabs on the defamation against Amy Cooper, just like I keep tabs on the defamation against myself. And I'm going to expose the woke KKK monsters who spew lies and try to drive Amy Cooper to suicide, just like I expose the woke KKK monsters who spew lies about me and try to drive me to suicide. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there for tonight, and because I don't want this video to get too much longer. I think I've made my point very clear. So I 100% support Amy Cooper, and I'm gonna fight for her just like I'm fighting for myself, because it's the same fight. And if we're fighting for each other, you know, if she wins, I win, and if I win, she wins. And so that's what I'm going to do from now on. I support her 100%, and I'm going to fight for her just like I'm fighting for myself. And I'm going to have all my fundraising links below. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please watch, share, and like my videos. Please donate to my legal fund so I can restore due process at Yale and woke KKK cancel culture and trial by Twitter without due process. Okay, I love you all so much. Have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Bye.